Once, there was a virtuous sage named Shilada, who had no family of his own. He wanted a child, free from the cycle of birth and death, and decided to worship Lord Shiva, who is the Mahakal himself. He performed intense penance for thousands of years to please Lord Shiva. Pleased by his dedication, Lord Shiva finally appeared before Shilada and asked him for a boon. "My dear Lord, I have only one aspiration. I wish to have a child," replied Shilada. Shiva smiled and said, "You shall have it soon," before vanishing from the place. Shilada returned home as a happy man, knowing that the Lord would bless him with a very special child. The next day he went to the farm to begin his ploughing, when he found a beautiful baby in the field before his plough. The baby was bright as sun. Shilada stared at the baby when he heard a voice from heaven, "Shilada, bring him up well." Shilada was overjoyed as he took the boy home. He named the boy Nandi. Shilada brought up the child with love and care. Right from his childhood, Nandi was devoted to Lord Shiva. At a very young age, Nandi became well versed in all the sacred Vedas and Shastras. Some years later, two sages, Mitra and Varuna, came to Shilada's home. Shilada welcomed them and offered them some refreshments. Nandi and Shilada looked after the two sages well, and after staying there for a couple of days, the sages said it's time to leave, as they had to continue their journey. Before they leave, Shilada and Nandi both seek their blessings. When Nandi fell at the feet, the two sages looked slightly sad. Slowly they said, "Be well, son, be good to your parents and teachers," and they walked off. However, Shilada noticed the change in the expression of the sages. He ran outside the house and asked them, "What's the matter?" They looked at Shilada with pity and hesitantly revealed to him that Nandi is not going to live a long life. Shilada was shocked and completely shaken. After a long time, he slowly walked back home with stooping shoulders and a broken heart. Nandi immediately guessed something was wrong and asked his father, "What happened?" Slowly and painfully, Shilada narrated his conversation with the two sages. He expected Nandi to be scared or even that Nandi would even start crying. However, to his surprise, he saw Nandi very calm and cheerful. Nandi consoled his father by saying, "Father, how can a Shiva devotee be afraid of death?" Nandi said with great devotion in his eyes, "Father, if it's my fate to die, then Lord Shiva can reverse my fate. Do you think he would let anything happen to us when we worship him?" Nandi bowed to his father. "Bless me, father." Shilada blessed his son. "Be victorious, my son." Nandi then went near the river Vahan. He entered the river and began his penance. His devotion was so great and his concentration was so high that Lord Shiva appeared in front of him. "Nandi, open your eyes," said Lord Shiva tenderly, looking at Nandi. Nandi opened his eyes, and before his eyes stood the most beautiful person he had seen in his whole life. Nandi looked at the god, wanting to savor his image. Lord Shiva looked at Nandi. "Nandi, your penance was so powerful that it dragged me here. Ask me anything, I will grant it to you." Shiva said, "Lord, I wish to be with you always." The words were out of Nandi's mouth before he could stop them. Shiva smiled. "Nandi, I have just lost my bull, on which I used to travel. Henceforth, Nandi, you shall have the face of a bull. You shall stay in my home at Kailash. You shall be the head of all my ganas, and you will be my companion, my vehicle and my friend, always." Nandi closed his eyes as tears owed through them. The Lord had granted him his wish and a lot more. Since then, Nandi became Shiva's vehicle, doorman, his companion and the head of all of Shiva's attendants, the ganas. Thus, by sheer devotion, Nandi was not only able to overcome his fate, but he also rewrote it.